Hey teacher friends, welcome to Sutton Teaches Secondary. I am Miss Sutton, but you can call me MarQuitta. Welcome, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. It has been a little minute since I've had a long video. Y'all already know teacher life. And the school year started the 2025 school year started, the second half, and I have been running and moving. As you can see, I'm not even in my classroom. I'm in my home office because this video was so important. I had to make sure I made it and I didn't want to forget. So here we are. Hello, welcome. Ooh, if you are new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you are not here, I'm glad that you're back. I'm not going to intro for long because it is already February. When this comes out, it'll be the first day of February. And I cannot believe it is Black History Month. Like, where they do that at? Or it'll be almost February, the day before, whatever the case. Anyway, it's Black History Month. Like, what? So, this year, I was texting my friend and I was like, what are you going to do in your class? For my AP Literature class, they're doing a poetry project. They're going to be reciting Black poetry by Black poets. I've got that all done. You know, like, I know African American Studies, it's Black History Month every day, 365. So I wasn't worried about that class, but I did not know what I was going to do for AP Lang. And I just was in this position of like, I did not want to continue to do something that was sad. Because it is supposed to be a celebration. We're supposed to be celebrating Black culture. We're supposed to be celebrating history, all of those kind of things. So, you know, we need to find some ways to celebrate. So I've got some ideas here. I'm so happy to share. I will also link a previous video that I've done about this because those ideas are still tried and true. I also want to say that all of this is good for any grade, any class. It can be adapted and changed to fit because this is applicable to everyone. And every year, everybody, all that kind of stuff. Okay, so here we go. Enough talking. So the first one, do a gallery walk. Find some age-appropriate and subject-appropriate pictures. Post those around the room. And then post up some questions or have students just write their own reflection questions. Play some good music in the background. Talk about what it's like to be in a gallery, all that kind of stuff. Play some good jazz, some good, you know, Little Grover Washington. Since it's Black History Month, we might as well play a Black jazz musician, all that kind of stuff. And let them then answer some questions. What do all these pictures have in common? What do you notice? Those would be some lower level questions. What do these questions teach us about resiliency or hope or joy? What do we notice about Black culture from these pictures? What inspires you? Black History Month is important to us or to me personally because, and let them fill in the blank. So many good questions that students can answer, either reflection on their own or poster size, like graffiti wall questions. Exciting. I know you will love it. Then I was also thinking that you could have a mini poetry slam. So you could either do it like long form where students have the whole month to kind of prepare a poem, put a poem together, all that kind of stuff, and then they recite them, and it could be about anything related to Black History Month in a way that it connects to them, right? And this can be any student, or you can do one on the fly. Right? So have them do a 5-minute poem or have them write Black History Month haikus and then just share and like everybody snap in, right? For a writing into the day or whatever the case. Or it could be a blackout poem. Give them an article, give every student an article, or let them choose articles that are related to or a piece of a text that is by a Black author related to something that's happening that relates to Black history. And then let them create blackout poems where they're like blacking out some of the words to create, or a lot of the words to create a new poem, and then also a design. Hang them up around the room. Chef's kiss. Also with poetry, which I'm doing, and I will try to make sure to link. And I'm going to try to make sure to link as much of this stuff that I already have planned down below in the description. So make sure to check it out. I'm doing my best, y'all. Something else that I'm doing with my AP Literature class, which if you have higher students like 11th or 12th grade, actually, no matter the grade, you can always adjust. But I am allowing students to pick one poem from a list, and then they have to memorize that poem and then recite that poem in front of the class by the end of the month. They do like a brief little bit analysis, like some analysis questions that are pretty standard ones that we ask about poetry in general. But the idea is for them to mostly they're understanding the poem so that they can recite it better, in essence. So once you do the analysis helps you understand the tone of the poem, the meaning behind it, all of those things, so that you can then recite it effectively. I'm so excited. This is my second year doing this. Last year I did it with African American Studies. I'm switching it over to Lit this year. I feel a little bit happier about that because I'm doing some other stuff with African American Studies. And I love it. We shall see. I will pop back in at the end of the month and tell you how it went. Last year went really well. We had a good time. So, lots of ideas with poetry. Okay, you can also do like a daily or weekly facts. So, if you're doing something school-wide, have students announce a Black History fact of the day. That is my favorite. I've literally made sure that has happened at every high school that I've taught at since I've been teaching in high schools, because I love it so much. It can absolutely be student driven. You can also just do it in your class, where every day a student reads one from a card for the whole class. There's lots of ones on Amazon where you can just find cards, and then every day, somebody picks a new card, they read it out loud to the class. Everybody's learning something new. Or if you wanted to do it digitally, you can pick. Dr. Henry Louis Gates has a whole plethora of YouTube videos called Black History Month in 2 minutes or less. They are phenomenal and nice and succinct, and lots of pictures and like documentary style, and in Dr. Henry Louis Gates fashion. Those are wonderful too, as a way to start off each day or once a week or something like that. Take the pressure off of yourself. You're not researching facts. You're just finding the resources and letting students enjoy. Now we have to have some moments of joy. So this year, I'm not a big lecturer. So in African American Studies, I keep mentioning this class because it's so much of what's going on, y'all. But in this class, they have to get lots of information because it is a studies class. They're learning history while also doing analysis, while also writing and reading and all the things. Anyway, so they're always watching documentaries and videos, short ones, long ones, whatever the case, about information, because I'm not a big lecturer. And about a month ago, one of the students was like, "Miss Sutton, can we just please watch something to just enjoy it?" And my first reaction was like, no, this is a class. We are learning in here, and learning is joy. But I wrote down a couple of things that are fun that you can do. So I haven't told them yet, but we plan on watching the Blackish episode about Black History Month, and we're just going to watch it for joy. It'll be at the tail end of our whole day of activities and things that we're doing to kick off Black History Month. They don't know that yet. Shh. But I think it's a great suggestion for you all as well. Blackish also has a really wonderful episode about Juneteenth. So that's something that you could do. Episodes of A Different World are always wonderful if we're talking about HBCUs and HBCU culture and all that kind of stuff. I like that better than Grownish. Grownish gets a little racy. And I don't know. But some other games and things that you can do. Playing Black Card Revoked. There's online versions of the game. You can actually purchase the game and then support a Black business. There's videos where people are actually playing the game and reacting and things like that. So you can do that version. Lots of fun. You can also find tons of videos with like Black history facts and trivia. Those are always fun. A game I love is like a Guess Who or Who Am I, where you're putting people that you're learning about in class or just famous Black people in general. Put them on a sticky note and put them on their back. Students have to walk around and ask yes or no questions to find out who they are. That one's always really fun. Find someone who. So I have a Black culture themed Find Someone Who, and it's mostly Black culture themed because not all of my students are Black, so I want to make sure everybody's included. But things like find someone who has kinky hair, find someone whose ancestor or like whose grandparents participated in the Great Migration, find someone, right? Like all of these different things. I will try to link that one below as well, because that one's always a big hit. You can also, if you are doing like an after school club, or if you have like a gaming type club, like a chess club, things like that, learning about the history of like chess, and all that, like chess in Black communities like Harlem and things like that, or just teaching kids how to play other strategy card games like Spades and Bid Whist. Because those are culturally games that are played at all the Black events. All the cookouts. Also, Name That Tune. Tons of music you could do, like a Motown era, hip hop, 90s, R&B, jazz music, right? Like there's so many ways that you could take that. Name That Tune's always a whole lot of fun and not that hard to tee up as well. Okay, we're almost done, y'all. I know I've given you a lot of ideas. I hope you're taking notes. All of these, and remember, this is so many ideas. It doesn't have to just be February. This can be all year long. Okay, last couple of things. You can do something around research. So, having students interview someone who is a part of local Black history, which I think is really cool, because we always talk about big picture stuff, but students don't always think about like the local people, the local heroes who have been pioneers in their community. Or researching something that is specific and relevant to your neighborhood. So, for example, I live in Southern California. Recently, we had lots of fires, and one of the cities that happened to have a lot of burns was Altadena. We recently did a lot of research around Altadena and how it was a city where there were a lot of Black residents because they did not have issues around redlining, which gave us a chance to learn a little bit about redlining, which is relevant to our class anyway. But things like that, like cities that there were safe havens, or like learning about what part of your neighborhood was in the Green Book, all kinds of things that are very local and relevant to something, to your neighborhood, and students would care about it because it's their Black history. Okay, last one. We've got digital resources. There's all kinds of things on the internet now. And you don't have to plan lessons. PBS has a ton of really great lessons. PBS, something just popped up for lessons for the Great Migration. And this was for 6th through 12th grade. Like, it was scaffolded for all of those grades. It connected to many documentaries that were done by Dr. Henry Louis Gates. And the cool thing about this one, it talked about the Great Migration as far as like in America and the Great Migration, but then it also talked about the Great Migration as it related to people from other countries, like other people of African descent from the diaspora who came to America during the time of the Great Migration. Like all of this movement, so cool, really cool. All the resources, lessons, fully planned for you, like vocabulary connected to Common Core standards. Boomty boomty bam. You don't have to do the work. There's also other wonderful documentaries on PBS that are all related to Black History Month, or Black culture. One that I particularly love are the Black and Latin America ones. I love these because it bridges two cultures. It brings this connection of like the diaspora, all of that kind of stuff. So great. And then the last one, the name of the organization has changed. It used to be like the Center for the Study of Diversity or something like that. And now it's like the Center for Justice. I will link it down at the bottom. But they have some really good resources that are digital that you can download with fully planned out lessons that relate to the civil rights movement, and specifically children and teenagers that participated in activism during that time, which is really cool. It's a very cool resource, and it's free, and it's already planned for you. So there's no excuse, teacher friend. There's so many things out there, so many things you can do. I hope that this month is full of joy and fun, and that it extends way beyond February. And watch this video right here, because this one is the old one I was talking about that has, is it right here or right here? It's over here. That talks about other ideas for Black History Month. And if you haven't already, teacher friend, why have you not subscribed? We talked about this. You're here. I don't want you to miss out. So make sure you subscribe And as always, you are amazing. All right. Bye.